prison experiment was done by Philip Zimbardo in the basement of Stanford University.
So basically, they wanted to see if prison guard brutality was based on like the personalities of the guards or on the environment. So what they did was they got a bunch of people, put them in that basement, and it was also in 1973 actually. And they put him in the mob prison, pretty crazy. And then it was like the environment.
The hypothesis was that the reason for the guard brutality was the prison environment. The independent variable were the people who were put in the prison, as well as the guards. And the dependent variables for the study was the environment. Who were the participants? Well, it was basically people who were tested to make sure they didn't have any mental illnesses. Basically, a bunch of people were put in a mock prison and assigned jobs, whether they were a prisoner or a guard. Then they basically just watched what happened and studied each other's attitudes and basically they just studied them in that environment and see like what would happen.
The Zimbardo prison study was conducted on people, and basically it kind of violated some ethical rules by basically the people didn't know what they were getting into because there was no like description of what was going to happen. And it can't really be replicated because it's just not ethical to do it again. To understand this concept, there's really there's two main ones in there. One is learned aggression, where somebody is conditioned to be more aggressive. And then there's social relations, just how people interact in different situations.
So there was a recreation done in the University of Iceland, and it was basically done the same way, but they had to call it off because it got too serious and too extreme, apparently. BBC also recreated this experiment for the docuseries The Experiment, how creative, in 2002. Done similarly in the UK, but with guards not getting any training or instruction on what to do. They ended the study before violence occurred, which was what the ethics committee decided likely to happen if they were to continue. What we learned from these recreations, is that it resulted in increased aggression. It was too dangerous to try and recreate, and the core explanations for the prisoners' behaviors were their social structure, and for the guards' behavior was their heightened accountability.